The morning fog wrapped around the streets like secrets no one wanted to tell. Officer Daniel Reed was finishing his night patrol, headlights dimmed, radio silent, ready to head home. But just as he turned toward the station road, he saw her, a little girl, barefoot, hair tangled, coat too thin for winter, standing under the flickering yellow streetlight like a shadow caught in time. She didn't cry. She didn't run. She just looked up and said one thing, "Follow me home." And then she turned and walked into the fog. Just a year ago, Daniel's life looked very different. He had a wife who called him her hero, a daughter who waited at the window every night for his patrol car to return. But one drunk driver, one rainy night, and everything turned to sirens and screams. His daughter gone. His wife never forgave him or herself. She left. He stayed. The job became routine. The badge a shell. The man inside hollow. So when the little girl said, "Home," he followed, not out of duty, out of instinct, out of something that felt like hope. She walked with small, steady steps, her shadow stretching across sidewalks, then gravel, then broken fences. Daniel kept the cruiser lights low, walking behind her now. After a few turns, they reached a rotting wooden shed behind a condemned house. "This is home?" he asked, his voice careful. She nodded. Inside, a mattress on the floor, cans of soup, a pile of clothes in one corner, a torn drawing taped to the wall. It showed a woman, a child, and a dog with angel wings. "No one's supposed to be here," he whispered. But she looked at him wide-eyed and said, "She's still in there. Mommy." Daniel stepped inside, flashlight flicking over mold-stained walls. At first, silence. Then a cough. Weak. Behind a partition. He pulled it back. There she was, a woman, barely awake. Thin as paper, arms wrapped around a small dog, and a faded photo. She blinked at the light. Tried to speak. Failed. The little girl rushed to her side. "She got sick 3 days ago. I gave her all the soup." Daniel's throat tightened. He called for an ambulance. As they waited, the girl held her mother's hand and said, "Told you I'd find someone." At the hospital, the mother, Jenna, was stabilized, malnourished, dehydrated, but alive. Daniel filed the report. Child protection came. They asked if the mother had kidnapped the girl. He said no. They asked if she had been neglectful. He paused, then said, "She survived. That's more than most could do." He visited again the next day. And the next, the girl, Mila, started drawing pictures again. One was of a police car. It had a heart on the door. She handed it to Daniel and said, "Thank you for following me home." No one ever did before. Daniel started stopping by the hospital even when off duty. He brought soup, books. One day, he brought a small music box that played the tune, "You Are My Sunshine." Mila loved it. Jenna cried the first time she heard it. One afternoon, Mila asked, "Did you have a little girl too?" Daniel didn't answer. But the next day, he brought a tiny red scarf, his daughter's favorite. He gave it to Mila. "Too special to keep in a drawer," he said. Weeks passed. Social workers pushed for foster care. Jenna still didn't have a job. No home. No stability. Daniel argued quietly. "She just needs a start. That's all." They shrugged, but he didn't stop. He found a shelter with open beds, pulled a favor to get them moved, connected Jenna to a nurse job retraining program. He wasn't supposed to do all this, but neither was she supposed to be forgotten. 3 months later, Daniel stood at the park near the shelter, holding 2 coffees. Jenna walked up, tired but smiling, uniform folded neatly in a tote bag. Mila ran ahead, her red scarf fluttering like a flag in the wind. Jenna said quietly, "I thought the world gave up on us." Daniel looked at her. "No," he said, "it just hadn't met you yet." A journalist caught wind of the story. Headline, "Homeless girl's words led to police rescue and something deeper." But what truly shocked people wasn't just how Mila survived. It was how a broken man, drowning in his own grief, became the anchor for someone else's storm. They thought the girl was the one saved. But Daniel knew better. She saved him too. 1 year later, Daniel stood at Mila's school recital. She wore a yellow dress and played the triangle offbeat, smiling wildly. Jenna sat beside him, her nursing badge clipped proudly to her chest. After the performance, Mila ran to them both and asked, "Can we go home now?" And this time, it wasn't shed. It was a small apartment, rented with Jenna's first paycheck. Home wasn't walls. It was people who stayed. If this story touched your heart, don't just scroll past. Some kids are waiting for someone to follow them home, not to judge, but to listen. Comment below if you want to see part 2, when Mila writes a letter to the officer who changed her life. And if you believe in second chances, not just for others, but for yourself too, share this story. Because sometimes the smallest voice in the fog is the one sent to rescue you.